Dara, and the last one. So the first one with the, okay, now it's going too fast for me. So marketing operators up first, the last one with the panel, creative strategy, Dara, last one. I love it. The one with Savannah and Jacob, all the sessions. Oh my goodness. Dara in the panel. This is awesome, y'all. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Um, So for this session, of course, we can hang out. I'm going to ask you all a bunch of random questions and we're just going to hang. But what I want to do first is showcase motion so you all can see exactly like what everyone was talking about today when they were alluding to us and why we think the creative strategist role is going to get 100 times more important. Like you'll be able to see it quite clearly. But before we get into that, I think I just need to do my round of thank yous. Like this has been such a special day. So the first and foremost who I wanted to thank was our marketing team. So we've done 4 of these now. These are a staple in the community. I don't know about you all, but it was a really good time. So shout out to our marketing team. And I want to give a special shout out to Melissa. It's not easy work managing this behind the scenes. So being able to put that work in and make this content come to life, please in the chat, put a "we love you, Melissa" in there so everyone can see and we flood it up. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. The second thank yous is for our speakers. We're nothing without our speakers. They come up here and they drop gems. You walk away with a notepad full of notes and we're just gonna fill you and flood you with content after the fact. So shout out to our speakers. Like you saw the sessions a little bit earlier. And then finally, the last one that I have is you all. Well, if I can speak anymore, you all. Like you all are the reason we do this. At Motion, we talk a lot about serving our community of creative strategists. And for all of you, like we want the upskilling to happen. We want this 100 times X role coming to life. So you all are the best, staying up at all hours of the night. So you have to give yourself a round of applause too. Geez, I am so impressed. I'm in awe by you all and especially what you do. Oh my God, I'm so grateful and thankful. At this point, I think what I'd love to do is just talk a little bit more about like paint the picture of Motion. So like at Motion, what we focus on, I've already mentioned 100x creative strategist a bunch, right? But what we really focus on is like, how do you have the tooling that allows you to be 100x? So there's so many different categories in there, but it's all centered around how do we make the best creative decisions possible so you can make better creative that then just stacks. Businesses make money, you make more money, everyone's happy along the way. Shout out to the chat. I appreciate it. Love, 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 love. But with this said, I would also love to welcome up my partner in crime on this one. So Alysha on our team has been cooking forever on some of the stuff we have within Motion, and she's going to showcase a couple of things before handing it back to me. So I wanted to welcome Alysha to the stage. Hey.
Hey, third time on a Motion stage, still feels surreal.
Come on, Alysha, I'm so happy to have you here. That surreal moment's interesting because what I'd love, everybody, I want you to listen up, okay? Like Alysha has such a unique path to her, like killing it in creative strategy, becoming like 100x creative strategist. So Alysha, I'm wondering if you can share a little bit of light of like your story and why you're up here and what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so I love to share my story. It's like one of my favorite stories, how I got here. A few years ago, I was a graphic designer because I went to school for design. Wasn't like super excited about it or anything, but that's what I did for work. And I got a job at a D2C company called Pila. They also make Lomi, you might know of them. And one of my many jobs as a creative strategist was to make their Facebook ads. And we had media buyers that we worked with, but I had to design those ads. And so I was given the tool Motion so that I could get like a feedback loop essentially of which ads were working and try to figure out what more I should do every single week instead of having to hear it from the media buyers so that I could get those creative insights myself. And we also were blessed with monthly calls with Evan. And I remember specifically, I got this PDF from Motion because we were using the tool. I was on their email list called Becoming a Creative Strategist. It had the creative strategist hat on the front of it. And I read that PDF like from top to bottom and was like, oh, this is what I want to do when I grow up. Yeah, my hat's in the other room. I have a few of them. I should have brought it. But I was like, this is what I want to do when I grow up. So I think anybody in a creative niche, somebody who's worked as a designer or a social media manager or something like that, you know that your work is so subjective and it's really hard to like prove your value in a way. And there was something about having the data and the insights behind every single thing that I did at work that was just like so motivating for me. And I loved pairing the data and the creative together and finally having that like amazing combination of things. So yeah, then I moved on to the agency world again as a designer, but like on day 2, I was like, by the way, I want to be a creative strategist. Actually, Evan always said like, oh, your creative team can wear, you wear the hat and then somebody else wears the hat. And I'm like, I don't want the hat, Evan, I want the job. So I went to an agency. I was a designer for like a minute, and then I got promoted to creative strategy lead and built some systems and processes there for a few years. And now I'm here working at Motion, which is surreal, insane. So yeah.
Yeah, Alysha's story is like one of those ones where anyone who's listening in like can literally curate it the way that you'd like. Like you can paint, the world's your oyster. You can make this as you see fit. So Alysha, now that she's at Motion, basically not as only is she combining like the data and the performance side of like the creative and the performance side of things, but also layering AI into this conversation. So what I think we should kick off with is like showing people how they can make some of these decisions. So Alysha, want to talk through like how these like elements of Motion came to life and then how they work?
Yeah, sure. So basically what I do now at Motion is I am a creative strategist, but I work on our AI team. So I combine creative strategy and AI to put tools inside of Motion that really make Motion AI native and bring better insights so that you can make better creative decisions inside of Motion. So what I have to demo for you today is actually AI tags. What does anybody know about AI tags? What have you said today about AI tags? Anything?
Everyone likes them. No context beyond that.
No context beyond that. We have them, and that's
Oh,
all you know. Okay. Should I just like jump
I
into it, show you what they look like?
think you jump into it. Yep.
Nice. Okay, let me do that. And let me make sure that I share the right window and all that stuff. We love tech. All right. Can you see my screen? It's a mandatory thing that I have to say. Cool. Okay. Well, this is a Motion top ads report. If you are a Motion customer or if you've been here for a little while, you probably recognize this report, but you'll notice there's something a little bit different. There are these really cute, pretty, colorful tags called AI tags. So AI tags are Motion's brand new automated creative categorization system. So we use AI and a very complex and intelligent system of prompts to analyze all of your ads and then assign these colorful labels within key categories. And the whole purpose is so that you can instantly get insights about your ads, spot patterns, identify gaps, compare what's working, and really start the idea generation process without having to rewatch any of your ads and without having to build a complex system of naming conventions. So what I have shown to you here is we have 4 of those categories shown on the card view, but there are 8 categories of AI tags that Motion is currently working with. We are quickly developing more categories, so I'm excited to unveil more of these to you soon. But initially we have asset type, visual format, messaging angle, hook tactic and headline tactic, seasonality, offer type, and intended audience. So we have spoken to probably hundreds of Motion users at this point. We've talked to people who have naming conventions, who don't have naming conventions, about their systems and processes for how they find creative insights inside of Motion to really develop the system. And what we came down to is that these are the categories that we strongly feel are what really matters when it comes to creative decision making. And we believe that these 8 categories are a true reflection of what every creative strategist uses to analyze creative today. And like I said, with lots more to come. So initially right here on this top ads report, what I have to show to you is visual format, messaging angle, hook tactic, and intended audience. And there are these little icons that represent the
Oh,
categories.
Alysha, give it a couple zooms. Give it a couple zooms for the people.
A couple zooms, I'll do that. Like this?
Yep, thank you.
Nice.
Yep, there you
Okay,
go.
yeah. So you have these like great tooltips to explain exactly what those categories are. The tooltips will follow you. I love the tooltips. They're everywhere. So this is great because there's education inside of the product. That's what I always say. But so initially we have these 4 categories that I've shown to you today. And the reason why I have these 4 to start with is because when you look at these categories, I think that asset type, seasonality, and offer type are things that we kind of are necessary evils in creative strategy, filters that you kind of need to dig down to. But where you get to like the meat and the potatoes, the good creative insights of it all, it's with visual format, messaging angle, hook and headline tactic, and intended audience. So right here, just with these tags, there's already so much that I can tell about these ads without having to click and rewatch them. So the first one here, we have visual format. We can see that this is a green screen ad. This is a skit ad. This is a post-it ad. And this is another skit ad. And then we have messaging angles. So these are four, this is obviously Motion's account. So these are four of the messaging angles that Motion uses. We have professional development, maximizing ad spend, clarity and data-driven decisions, and improved ad performance. These are like the key takeaways, the key messaging that Motion really focuses on in their ads. And that is also tagged for you here. Then we have the hook tactic. This is the one that I'm actually the most excited about because I find that a lot of teams will try to sort by hook and say these hooks work, but there's a lot of power in asking why a hook worked. So what we decided was we decided to tag hook tactic, which according to the little definition in the tooltip is the device or the strategy used to really capture people's attention. So we can tell that the hooks used here, this one used a demographic call out. And if you hover over, you can even see like a little definition of that. A bold claim, another bold claim, and then an if-then statement. And then lastly, of course, we have the intended audience, like the person that we're really focusing on attracting in this ad, or the person we're trying to target. So of course, this is Motion. We're primarily aiming to speak to creative strategists, but also D2C marketers. So that's just like an initial overview on the card view. Should any initial thoughts or questions to hop in before I keep going and show you more?
There's a question about additional personas by someone I'm guessing is familiar with Motion. But the one thing I'd add for everyone who's seeing Motion for the very first time, essentially what these tags are helping with is like, we know that decision making is hard. People don't necessarily know where to focus their time. Like that's so challenging. So with these 8 categories and the different definitions that Alysha's worked tirelessly on with so many brands, like this is our stamp of what you should focus on to be able to make some of these decisions. And Alysha can walk through basically an example of the types of decisions you all can make.
Yeah, 100%. I had a little note to myself. Next thing to talk about. This is neat, but how does it help me make creative decisions? So there's a lot of different ways that you can use these tags inside of the product. Just initially, I mean, you can just scroll down and look at all of the tags. It's incredible. It's kind of overwhelming actually, but just on it, like initially, as a person, you can start to already kind of identify some patterns. And that's really what a lot of creative strategists are doing in their work today with Motion is they're opening up a top ads report and they're finding patterns in all of their top ads. So by putting the AI tags here, you can find those patterns inside of the AI tags without having to watch every single ad and find those patterns manually. You can also, of course, like I said, like learn so much. So something might be tagged skit or a grid swap or montage, and you're like, oh, what exactly does that mean? What did I do here? And you can hover over and learn about it, which is incredible. I think that's great for a lot of like, if you run a creative strategy team and you're looking to teach them more like creative best practices, they can start to use these categories and start to think just better, a little bit more of like a fundamental creative strategy perspective. But then, of course, you can make custom reports. So right now, let me try to make a custom report right in front of you. So if I just wanted to talk about what are my top hooks, if I added a filter for hook score is over 70, and then I'm going to remove these ones and keep hook tactic, and I'm going to add back in hook score and thumb stop rate. I love that Motion is working with me today. This is great. Now we have a top ads report that's specifically filtering for my top hooks. So now it can tell me a little bit more about like, these are my top hooks. So what are my top hook tactics? Like what is actually working inside of my ads? And this is great. So I can start to, sometimes you can see patterns in here. This is another thing is if you look and you try to find patterns and it's really hard, you know that you have great creative diversity. And that's the case here where there's actually not a lot of patterns, but there's a lot of like strengths here. So we have to relatability, we have shocking statement, we have demographic call out. So if somebody asked you, what is working about our hooks right now? Like what should we continue to lean into when we talk about hooks? This report can answer your question, which is great. And then the other thing that you can do now that you have AI tags is unlock something called a comparative analysis. So there's this other report called comparative analysis that previously a lot of people with naming conventions got value out of, but people without naming conventions didn't for this reason. But AI tags has unlocked that for you. So if I go over here, I've already made a nice comparative report and I have grouped by hook tactic, which is the one that we were just talking about. So now I can really zoom out and determine what hook tactic is my best hook tactic. and where do I have like missed opportunities or gaps that I can lean into. And you can do this with all of the AI tag categories, not just hook tactic. So this is just one. But initially, what this report is telling me is I have spend, event registration, which is what Motion was aiming for here. That's their primary KPI, and then some retention. And just initially, I can see the demographic call out as a hook tactic was really working for us. But the shocking statement wasn't getting us very many event registrations, but it's really holding people's attention. So that's an interesting insight, again, without even watching any of the ads. And then you can just continue to identify gaps and opportunities here. Like you might even scroll down and be like, wait a second, I had this hook tactic that I really thought would work or really would shine, and I just don't see it here. Or, you can just like compare and contrast and like think critically about like, what am I not seeing here that I would have expected to see? So it just answers so many new questions for you without having to, like I said, watch all of your ads, manually tag them, or make a naming convention to unlock these abilities. Yeah. What else? What can I answer for you next, Evan?
Huge. So I think one of the pieces that's coming up is basically like this gives you the high level insight into where is working. So you can say like, okay, this hook tactic, let's make more and invest in this way. I guess what I'm curious about is with any of the other like the tag types here, is there an opportunity to basically like continue to double click to get further insights? I'm thinking something like I always forget what it's called, but like asset type comparisons that then bleed into like individual asset types, so people can go down the rabbit hole of finding additional things that they can make.
That's a great point. So right now we're within hook tactic. Let's just say, for example, we wanted to filter by hook tactics that were only in UGC. So asset type is not just image or video, but what type of image or video. And of course, Motion makes all kinds of videos. So if we wanted to specifically look at just UGC, we could like double click into UGC and look at hook tactic within UGC. We could also look at within UGC, we could look at like messaging angle. What messaging angles are working within UGC? Time savings and workflow efficiency looks to be our main messaging angle, but something about clarity and data-driven decisions, again, is like really retaining people here. And of course, you can like add any metric that you want. If you want to look at thumb stop rate, click-through rate, if your KPI is different, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, you can filter and you can layer in as deep as you possibly want. Let's say like UGC and time savings and workflow efficiency. Let's just dive even deeper into that. Time savings and workflow efficiency. And then let's say what visual formats are working within that. Let's do that. Nice. Okay, so within UGC, within the messaging angle, time savings, and workflow efficiency, the visual format that's working the best is green screen. So this is, we had a report at one time called Winning Combinations. And I think we've been talking a lot about that as a team, how it really unlocked a lot of really cool like patterns of like combinations of things that worked, but something about the report just never really clicked. And this is another way to get to the same kind of like insights of like what combinations of things are working if you like dig deeper and deeper and deeper. Yeah.
Huge. Alysha, there's a couple questions coming up related to the tags. Let me toss them at you and then let me know what you think. So one of the first questions that comes up is from Sophia. Sophia asks, are these determined categories or can you customize any tags?
Oh, we get that question all the time. It's a work in progress. Okay, what I can tell you is this is a creative insight. So how I got to that was I just clicked on an ad. You can look at an individual ad and you can see the tags here, and you can change the tag. So if you see a few tags are kind of swimming around in your account and you think, this one isn't actually UGC, it's actually a high production, you can swap that. Or if you think this isn't really a skit, it's, I don't know, it's an influencer endorsement, you can swap it to that. We've had a lot of feedback though about like more custom values, like maybe values that you guys use internally, and it's definitely something we're considering. But at this point, we've got you can swap them, but you can't provide new ones just yet. But if you want that, we would love to hear about it.
I love it. Alysha, a couple of the other follow-ups that are coming through here is from Melissa. So Melissa asks, if you do use naming conventions, is it also scanning through those to get insights?
It is not scanning through your naming conventions, but one thing that we find is the cool thing about these AI tags is your naming conventions are done by you. So you have to choose what that tag is. So you might have like a short list of visual formats, of messaging angles, of audiences, of what have you that you think of when you think of your ads. And those might be slightly different than what the AI tags determine. But what I love about this is that the LLM is like a truly neutral third party. So if your naming conventions say something a little bit different than the AI tags, that can actually unlock like a new insight. So it's not looking at your naming conventions, but that's by design. Because if it looked at your naming conventions, then you would just still be required to use naming conventions. And what we want to do is make it so much easier to get to those creative insights with AI, not with naming conventions. So long story short, no, we don't look at your naming conventions, but you can continue to filter. Like Motion has naming conventions. So if I wanted to filter by something that Motion has a naming convention for, like talent, for example, like we work with Dara, this is me, there's like a bunch of people that we work with. If we wanted to filter by Dara, that's something in our naming convention that we can also drill into. And then you can kind of like layer on both the AI tags and the naming conventions.
Huge. And honestly, Melissa, if your naming conventions are killer, the really cool thing about these tags is like Alysha spent tireless hours and spoke to hundreds of customers to make sure that they're number one, accurate, number two, impactful. So think of this as bolstering your naming conventions on top of it. So I think you'll be in a really, really good spot. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. 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 Sonia had the question in the chat. Are these out or are they coming out and when?
This is so early. You might already have them and not even know. You might. We're rolling them out to everyone, but we are tagging hundreds of thousands of ads. So if you don't have them yet, just you wait, they are coming. And if you're impatient about it, please reach out to your CSM, or if you have a contact at Motion, and you can feel free to ask any questions, but they're coming, I promise. They're all rolling out in the next couple of days here.
Yeah, and it's a lot of compute power, y'all. Like we're doing this, trying to make sure we're serving the community in this sense. So if you do want to learn more, if you haven't seen it before, or you are interested in reaching out, hit that book a call with Motion button. Okay, you see it right up there, and then reach out to us either by booking a call or hitting the chat up. That'll be the best way to be able to talk to us, or just talk to your boy. Hit me up on a different channel. I got you. We'll get you set up. You're good to go. Alysha, one of the final questions that I see in here is from Giovanna. Giovanna asks, will you be developing tags in Motion matching personas reached per individual ads? I'll share this one. You can see it.
Personas reached per individual ads. I'm not sure if this exactly answers your question, but right now, if I were to open an ad and ask myself, what's the intended audience, is sort of another way of saying persona. So the intended audience of this ad is creative strategists. The way that I think about it, a persona is a little bit more fleshed out than that. It's like a creative strategist who started working as a creative strategist 6 months ago, is working in a boutique agency, is struggling with this, likes this type of content. Like a persona, I think, is something a little bit more fleshed out. But initially we have these intended audiences, which is cool because basically what the LLM is telling you here is, based on what I see in this ad, it looks like you are speaking to creative strategists. So it doesn't get you like fully the way there. That's where we need more categories, which we are working on to really build out that fully fleshed out persona. But it at least gives you like that initial thing of like, wow, this, we meant for this to talk to creative strategists and it did, or maybe you kind of like missed the mark. And then you can, of course, like organize just like anything else. You can filter by those intended audiences as well.
Alysha, I love it. Are there any final things that you wanted to talk about?
Oh my goodness. I don't think so. I just hope everyone loves them. Yeah. And they'll be ready for your next meeting. I love that.
I love it. Are there any frequently asked questions you get after you show people tags?
Yeah, the most frequently asked question is about custom values. And I mean, I could be very biased, but there's kind of like two parts of my stance to that, is that sometimes in our initial calls, this is how much better it's got. In our initial calls, people would say, that looks wrong, that looks wrong, that looks wrong. And I was like, oh my God, my prompts suck. What are we going to do? So we improved the prompt significantly. So people have a lot less criticism. Thank goodness for all those people that we got on user calls with. They really were, it was like over 100 people easily that we spoke to get it so good. And now it's kind of funny how the script has flipped a little bit, where people will say, I thought that was wrong, but then I clicked on the ad and it's not wrong. It's just different. So the frequently asked questions used to be like, can I change this? And now it's like, no, wait, I don't need to change that. That's actually, it's correct. It's just different. And then the next thing is just more categories, which, like I said, we're working on. People love it. They see the accuracy in it, especially newer creative teams that didn't have naming conventions to leverage initially now have access to this, which is like a huge unlock. And they just want more, which is great. Yeah.
Love it, Alysha. Thank you so much for coming up here and talking to people about this. Like, I know it was a labor of love. So I'm so, so happy that this comes to life and the people get to try it. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, happy to. Thank you so much. See you around.
Hey, everybody. Am I frozen? I'm not frozen. Oh my gosh. That's why we are here so you all can make better decisions. We want brands to make better decisions so you're making more money. We want your bosses to be happy that you're making more better decisions. We want you to make better decisions so you're literally putting more money in your pockets or whatever makes you happy and like this fun career that we all have. Everybody, okay, well now that Alysha's gone, I think I just want to like there's some stuff that's really, really early. Like, honestly, it's not all that great. Like, it's still being worked on, but I just want to show you what we're cooking in all honesty. So, if you want access to this in all honesty, like, it's all very beta and test. Or so you just need to like test it with a grain of salt. Things are going to hallucinate. But I'm feeling like, screw it. I'm going to show you all. Okay. So you can just see what's going on. Yeah, Natalie's like, let's go, Giovanna. Life of the party. Come on. Welcome to the party. You know how this is. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I will say, like the other sessions, if you had any questions, throw it into the Q&A tab like you see up there. And if you're liking what you're seeing, hit that book a call button because that's the one that's going to be able to talk to our team so we can start to get you access to this stuff. All right. All right, let's do it. So let me share my screen with you all real quick. Okay, I gotta pull in Alysha here and be like, you know, the AT&T commercial where it's like, can you hear me yet? That one. It's like, just to confirm, can everybody see my screen? Like, are we okay? Okay, there. I think that's what we want, right? Yes, 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 yes. Fire, 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 fire. Emoji, emoji, emoji. GIF, GIF, GIF. Let's go. Okay, so basically, what Alysha has walked you through is the perfect way to start getting the right signals so you can make better decisions. But what I wanted to talk about next, and like a question that I often get, is like, Evan, all this stuff is cool, but can you just tell me what to do? I don't want to make no decisions. I need ideas. Hit me with the ideas. So I have good news for you. Yes, we can. Again, very beta. So like, don't tell the team that I'm saying this, but like, very beta. But basically, in a report like this, what you're able to do is you can actually run what we call tasks, which are essentially analysis. You can run tasks on the entire account, on a specific report like you see here, or on an individual creative. If I click in and I go to this view here, you're literally able to select from different tasks like I have here. Now, all of these tasks present so many different opportunities for us, right? So I can literally click these and it starts to kick us off nice and easy. You can see how it's now processing that creative and it's going to start giving me ideas. I can do the exact same thing here with the report. So I can ask the report questions with my different filters so you can get the different ideas. And I can ask my account the same things. So all of these different layers giving us the insights. Once you've gone ahead and you've run these reports or run these tasks, as they're called, the really cool thing, yeah, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. You heard that here. Like, just don't say Evan said it at least. Like, come on, save me, guys. I thought we're friends. So basically, the next step here is after you've run the tasks and you see them in progress, the really cool thing is all of them go to live in your inbox. So this inbox here literally is your home of all of the different ideas that you can start to generate. If I click into one of these, the really cool part is I would have started with, let's say I'm analyzing that Dara creative. Shout out to Dara. If you were here, you already know I said like this was gonna, like Dara's ads were crushing. So here, what happens is it starts with an analysis that then gives you ideas and next steps. So it's literally saying, why does it work? What could work? What do we do next? And the really cool piece here is like, it then prompts you with information around, well, what should I do next? Do you want me to flesh one of these out so it can be a brief that you can send to your creator? What do you want to see? Ah, damn, my screen's frozen. All right, sorry. Thank you, everybody. 2 seconds, 2 seconds. I got to share my whole screen. That's what it is. We're still seeing the AI tag screen. So you're telling me I'm bad with technology. Thanks, everybody. Okay. Is this on? Is this on? Sorry about that, everybody. You know, we deal with technology, our best friend and worst enemy every single day. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again and hopefully we can clean this up. So if I'm not mistaken, the last screen you all would have seen was this one. Is that correct? This inbox, like I was calling it, yeah? Okay, shout out Kristen, there we go. Is the connection slow? Yep, it's me. I am so sorry, Jesus. Perfect. So like I was saying, when you click into one of these, the really cool next step is that you're then provided with a report that looks like this. So after running the task on an individual creative like Dara's, what I'm then able to see here is I can start to see the analysis of like, well, what are new ideas based off this individual creative that we can start running? So I literally have summaries of ideas that I can start to think. So now you can put these in your back pocket. You can talk to your creative team about it and you can go crazy with it in all honesty. So like share it off nice and easily, for example. But the thing that I wanted to share is you might not be at a point where you're literally like in a spot where you can actually say, well, I'm happy with this. The reality is you might not be happy with it quite yet. So what do you do in that case? So you'll notice here that it provides some next step options. So it's like, want me to flesh this out as a creative brief that I can give to the team, or want me to do something else? What we might be missing, in all honesty, is additional context. You're like, yes, but I sell to this type of person and this type of brand. What you can then do in this case is you see this add context button. What it will actually pop open for you is what we're calling training. So in this training view is when you can start to provide additional context on your brand so it makes the opportunities of next steps even more impactful. I can start to say my demographic is men over the age of 35. I can say that, hey, brand guidelines look like this. I can say I need this to be in French because I'm working with French content creators. Come on, get me right. There's so many different things we can do to give additional steps. And once you're in a spot when you're happy with the context that you've then provided, you can then have a chat. So I can literally say, hey, Dara. It's not Dara. Sorry. This is like it might hallucinate and not be great in all honesty. But I literally say like, I would like a creative brief. And we always have to say please, right? Like when the robots take over, we need to make sure that we're nice to them. So it's like they're nice to us back. So I'm going to add that and say, I would like it, please. So the really cool thing is it starts working in the background and you'll notice all of the different things that it's starting to do through this process. And once this proceeds, I'll open one where I have a little bit more context. Okay, everybody? So this is a different task, of course, but you'll start to notice here as I continue through lost audio, right? Yeah, you're losing me. You're losing me. Well, I'm happy it's now at the end of the day. Geez, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Well, I appreciate the patience with the technical difficulties here. But everybody, I think the last piece that I was saying that is really cool is after you give the additional context that you need to succeed, essentially what you can do is like, this is a separate task I have. I've literally said, give me 5 ideas. And then it outputs the 5 ideas. And then I can even say, turn it into a brief. And I have a brief that's ready for content creators. So what you're doing here is you're leveraging your account data and your brand's information to bring it together to foster new ideas. So when I'm literally talking about make better decisions, come on, y'all, what gets better? My internet. Yeah, giving up. Internet's giving up. Oh my God. Oh my God. I want to like restart it, but it's probably not the right time to. But I was in my groove. I was just saying, like, we're talking about ideas. We're talking about ideas that make more impact. What's more impactful than leveraging the data in your ad account, the tags that we had spoken about, and data about, or information, information you have about your brand. Oh my gosh, everything freezes. You have to come back. I need all the means after this. This is brutal. Uh yeah, should I hotspot it here? This is a bit bad. Did everybody catch the last part there like I was saying though? Christina, maybe you can help me out when I was talking about like taking the data from your ad account, the tags and your brand's information. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So this is what I meant earlier of like, it's in infancy stages. Come talk to us so we can get you access so you can try it out and ultimately like give us feedback along the way. But these are the infancy stages of like what we're planning. Okay. Okay, well, I'm in a groove now, and like I kind of just, if I'm cutting out, then it's okay. Like I'm just like, all right, then I'm not in trouble. I'm not in trouble. So, so basically, the next thing that I wanted to talk about here is like in this chat, you are operating in a space where you're getting this information, and then like I was saying earlier, you can go to the top here and like you can copy all these things, and you can move it to your decks or do whatever you need, right? But one of the other things that I know you all do quite frequently is there's a reporting cadence that you need to do. So whether it's for yourself, your clients, or your team, there's a reporting cadence. And what the really cool thing here is, because I saw someone ask about like a scheduled question or scheduling intervals. So what you can actually do in this case is with any report that you have, you actually have a Slack integration. Infancy, don't come from my head. I'm sorry, again, heads up. But basically what you can do here is if once I'm hooking up Slack, I can actually set the cadence that this is going out on. I can then select any Slack channel that I want to be able to send it to, and then I can make sure to schedule that along the way. Now, there are some limitations with this. Like it's not all going to work and it's not all going to be great. There's some limitations, but it should be okay. It should be okay. Okay, sweet. Does everybody have me all right? Am I lagging? Am I lagging? All right. Giovanna says, Evan, we need to know the date. This is out. No one will know. Yeah, okay. It's coming out soon. All I will say is come talk to us. Come talk to us if we need to get you access. All right. Now, I think the final two pieces, because I'm on a roll now that I want to show, is basically like related to the questions we've gotten most since a really long time ago. And the first thing that we wanted to talk about was related to transcriptions. So people often want to take the transcripts of ads that have worked really well for them so they can repurpose it, whether it's going into GPT or not. But basically, whenever you dive into any ad that's a video, you're able to actually access your transcript without any issues. So you can either take specific lines like my wife, what are you wearing? Like something like this, or you can copy the entire transcript so you can take it where you want to go. So it's going to be nice and impactful that way on the transcript side. And then the final thing, which unfortunately, I think this is the only thing I can't get you access to. It's coming soon. We're just trying to figure it out so it actually works, is this tab right here. I think you've heard it from all of the great people who speak at our events, and honestly, like anyone who's working within creative strategy. But it's like, look at your ad comments. What are people saying? Like, look at them so we can use the context to make better decisions. So we're now just working out the best way possible to be able to expose ad comments. So you can do what? Make better decisions. Make better decisions, you make more money. Make more money, everybody's happy. Like Sarah was saying, the economy goes around at that point. So we're cooking, y'all. We're cooking. All of this is rooted in, like, you're going to hear me say it a million times and I sound like a broken telephone, but all of this is rooted in wanting you to make the best decisions possible across the board. So like Alysha said, it starts with tags and that manual analysis to say like, what's going on? What do we do next? It then moves to being able to run specific tasks that generate ideas for you based on your own brand's information, as well as your ad account performance. And then it then moves even to the granular pieces like transcripts and ad comments. There's things across the board we want to be able to help with, y'all. And like when we're talking about servicing the creative strategy community, that doesn't just mean through content. We want to start there. We know we got to bring you all up to speed. And honestly, we learn ourselves. And we just want to be part of your journey. We want to be in a spot where like we know this role is just getting started. And we want to be part of the journey where you're able to 100x yourself to make way more impact. So that's like where the passion comes from, where the energy comes from, where all of it comes from, making it nice and easy. Okay, so there are some questions that rolled in. If it's in the chat, I can't see it. Like my connection is doo-doo right now. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to catch up. I'm sorry, but I am gonna pull a couple questions up just that I've seen here in the Q&A tab. So shout out to y'all, listening to my instructions got me crazy. Oh yeah, one final plug. I'm all over the place, but Creative Strategist hats, I know you want it. Tag us on social media. We're gonna do a giveaway. So basically, the first question I see here is from Asha. So Asha asks, what does the green book a call with motion button at the top do? You're asking good questions. Let me press it. Okay, So it brings you to a form. That form will then allow you to talk to one of our team members who can then walk you through the types of insights in way more detail than I have, and then be able to then get you access to these different features that I've shown today and what Alysha had spoken about. Okay. Shout out Asha, by the way. Love in the chat. Love in the chat. Love in the chat. Okay. Emily asks, is there an email version of the scheduled reports rather than Slack? Really good question. Right now, it's only Slack. We can take this back to the team, but I think we got to make Slack a little bit better. It's a little, again, didn't hear it from me, but like we're figuring it out. But it's a really good flag, and I know our team's watching this and taking notes in the background. So appreciate you, Em. Thanks a ton for the question. Super, super helpful. Next question that comes in is from Sophia. So shout out, Soph. Can you separate insights by media channel? Ooh, really good question. So one of the things to highlight, and I guess I haven't mentioned this, is like Motion is paid social focused at this point in time. And what that means from a paid social perspective is that there's 4 channels that we service. There is the Meta side, there is the TikTok side, the YouTube side, and the LinkedIn side. Now there's things to clarify. These types of insights are primarily, I think, only on Meta at this point, because we know that the lion's share of spend goes towards Meta. So we're starting there. But honestly, we have the other platforms that you can then separate them out if you're not looking for as much detail as the tagging, as well as the like the agent stuff or the chat stuff that I had shown. If you just want straight up reporting, we got your back across all of those platforms. Okay. Awesome. Love these social channels. Shout out Kim. Shout out Kim. And the last one, Kelly here. Oh, this is Kelly. You set me up for success. This is the one I was originally answering when I'm like, oh, I'm seeing people talking about like scheduling stuff. You got it covered. You got it covered. Awesome, y'all. I am curious though, like a lot of us have been together since what, 12 p.m. my time, we're coming up on 6 hours. Do any of you have any other questions? Like anything else going on? Sophia says, thank you. Also, shout out to T-Dot, my OG home. Okay, you're not here anymore? Come on, you left the best city. What are you doing? I see your We the North book. Yeah, got the We the North book. I got the basketball book. I got the Raptors planter. Come on, missed that one. And then I got the Virgil Abloh biography. Oh, man. Sophia, NYC. In another life, I live in New York. So for sure, I know why you went there. That makes so much sense. Kim, you need a demo? Check us out. See that big one? Book a call with Motion? You know what it is. We got you. We got you. It's going to be a good time. Natalie, no other questions. I promise you, you do. Don't lie to me. There's things we could talk about. Come on. Just me and you. We're all good. We're all good. Giovanna, can we get the presentations shown? It's a really good question. I think I have to check with the team on how that's going to look. I am curious though for you all, like keep throwing questions my way. Like I think I love that. That's so fun. But the other piece I'm always curious about is just like, what is the like the most interesting topic from today? Like, you know, organic social came up. Is that top of mind for a lot of people? And you're not just thinking about ads anymore. You're like literally organic social. What else we got? What is your star sign, Evan? Annie, what are you trying to figure out? Like, talk to me first about that. I can't just be giving that out. Like, I need the trust. We need the trust. We got to be on the same side here. Organic all day. Organic all day. Oh, you all are talking a ton now, and I got to find the chats. I can't even keep up. Is there dark mode on your website? Adam asks. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Maybe something we look into. We got to make it prettier, you're saying, but we hear you. We hear you. Jill asks, any platforms you recommend for sourcing UGC content? It's a really good question. There's a lot of great partners out there. So think of like the Incense or the Bilios, or if I said that right, and those you can work with. But the most successful people I've found have been able to work directly or like have people who are obsessed with scrolling and find people to work with. So I think like that's the route that I'd go. Kyle asks, what's a good substitute for an in-house creative? Ooh, Kyle, what's your role? That's a really good question because I might point it right at you because it's like, honestly, the only job that matters. Like if you're talking about the reliance on paid social, you need someone who understands data and creative. It's essential, right? So it might be that important for you to take on depending on your role. But if you don't have that, what I'd say is you either want a very boutique agency to help you out, a freelancer, but the larger agencies, if you're smaller, won't be the best fit. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, Beth says, shout out organic. Yeah, organic's an interesting conversation, right? Art asks, what's the biggest mistake you see people make when using Motion as a platform? That is a really good question. You're making me think here. Because one of the things that we'll hear is just like, how do we use motion? Like that's one of the pieces that come up. But I think like where that question is not rooted in, and like where I think it comes from is like, in that last panel we had with Sarah, Morella, and Lee, and like we were talking so much about persona work and who are you going after. So there's something in there about structure. So when structure doesn't exist to be able to say like, what am I trying to watch so I can make better decisions? It gets a bit harder. I'm not saying it's impossible by any means. Like you saw some of the ways you can talk to your data to uncover insights, but it gets a bit harder. So might be a cop out answer, Art, but like that's where I jump to. Okay. Asha says, what's surprisingly the most important feature that you use daily in motion? Top ads report. Like nothing beats the freaking dopamine. So I'll share my screen. So when I say top ads report, essentially like what that means is if I open this up, you see how it says top performing here. So what that report is this one. So it's like when you can see the exact creative, right? Nothing beats the freaking dopamine of seeing your creative crush. So it's like, I don't even know if it's underrated. It's just the one that you jump into and you know it's gonna rock. You know what I mean? Sweet. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about organic. Becca says, do you ever hold events that have more of a B2B focus? This one has been great and I pulled so many insights, but it'd be cool to be more specific. It's a good question, Beck. We've done one in the past, but the reality is like, let me know what you think. And like, honestly, our community here can attest to it. The best of the best performance marketers are D2C marketers, in my opinion. They're so margin tight. They need to be on point and ahead of the game no matter what. So there's so much to learn from these marketers that I think like this is why we focus this way. Even at Motion, right? Like we are a B2B company technically, but we try to run our creative strategy very similar to how D2C brands approach it because we know that that's the goal. So Beck, let me know if that's helpful. It's a bit of a bullshit answer, but like, let me know. Ashley says, what's the birth time? That's crazy. What's the birth time? That's all this gonna give. I don't know that. You guys are playing with me too much. All right. Annie, that's so funny. You're like, I tried. Can we be friends? Sure, Chase. I got you, man. I got you. Kick it. Also interested in B2C focus, motions product design, A1, day one. You know how it goes. Does motion aggregate? Okay, so Lynn asks, does motion aggregate influencer metrics? Honestly, influencer metrics, yes. So if the influencer name, that's where naming conventions come to play. You can literally compare and create a like a leaderboard of what's been trying to go on. Yo, if anybody has any other questions, please throw it into the Q&A tab because like my eyes hurt from looking at the chat now. I love the love, but I got to get to the Q&A tab. Okay. All right, y'all. So first one's here. Star sign. You tell me yours first, and then I'll share after. So, shout out Annie. I can't escape. Damn, Libra. I am a. This is so for everyone listening in. I stream every Monday to Friday, so from 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to come hang out, that's where I do a lot of this type of stuff. So Annie, Taurus gang in the building on my side. Taurus in the building. Kristen asks, so no organic, mostly just paid. So on the analytics front, great question, Kristen. On the analytics front, it is just paid. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. So we're working on something potentially that it's maybe just in my mind and no one else's mind, but we want to try and be able to say like, okay, organic, what do you want to take inspiration from? Something like that. Yeah, that one might not be allowed. Annie, what does that mean, by the way? I don't know what that means. Art, shout out Art. Oh man, you actually asked here too. Perfect. Let me know if that answer was helpful earlier. Emily's back. Shout out M. Any platforms you recommend for paid social ads project management, ideally for collaboration between paid social roles? Now, this is the interesting thing because project management platforms are just what you want. Like, I know so many teams that use Notion. I know so many teams that use ClickUp. I know so many teams that use Asana. But like, is there a best one? I'd say it just depends on your stage of company and whatever you think you need. So Em, I don't have the best answer, but those are three that I might hear a ton about. And then Motion helps facilitate a lot of like what should go in briefs and you're just uploading it there. Okay. Sweet. Next one we got, oh man, I need a I hate messing up people's names. So if you can give me like the phonetic spelling in the chat so I don't do you dirty, let me know. Where can we get your planner? Yo, tell me this thing isn't sick, by the way. I'm gonna bring it up. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Okay, okay, I blame you. I blame you now. I blame you because I can't fix it, Vaz. I've actually messed it up and it's broken. But look at that. Raptors 30th. We got the plant coming out the side. It's a Toronto-based company. So a Toronto-based company. I remember seeing them on IG. And because it was on IG, I'm like, yo, that's super sick. So I ended up getting one of these and like it's the perfect background. So that's what we're rocking with. Okay, Jill. Jill asks a question here. Jill, confirming motion tracks TikTok ads, or is it just Meta? TikTok ads, we got you. Yes, yes, yes. Now there's more limited capability, primarily because of like the spend distribution. Because people spend so much on Meta, we've prioritized Meta for a lot of the things I've shown today. But for basic reporting, we got your back. TikTok ads, you know how it goes. Art has a question in here. Much love. Shout out Art, man. Shout out to Art. Shannon. Shannon says, "How are you feeling so far, Evan?" Oh, my heart. Thank you. I feel great. I'm so happy hanging out with you all. Like this is so much fun. I enjoy this. Like this is super awesome, and like I genuinely mean it when we say we want to serve this community. So being able to hang out with you all and like hopefully talk to you all and make some better decisions within motion, like couldn't ask for more. You know what I mean? So shout out to you all. Shout out to you all. Let me know if you wanted something else from that though. Okay, Kristen. Kristen coming out here. So Kristen says, so organic data versus paid. Is that an option in motion? So it's just paid right now. It's just paid right now. But like we see where the world's going, so we have to adjust as we see it. But that's what our focus is. Okay. Sweet. You all are the best. Keep throwing the questions in. I just see it flooding nonstop. It's awesome. It is so awesome. Abigail asks, does motion work with nonprofits? We work with everybody. It's just a question of like what the arrangement we have is. So I wouldn't say never. It just becomes a question of like what you're spending money on ads for and like how that starts to look. But we have billing information in places on our website. You can see what's going on. Let me know if that's helpful, Abigail. Or Abby. You can see I'm going with the short forms across the place. All right, Frida. I've been here. I've been here. I've been here. Tofia. Tofia, I'm getting in the building. Let me know. Let me know in the chat if you've been here since the start. Like, you know how this is going. I've been here trying to strategically position myself in this industry, coming in as a creative and a content creator. Lots to learn, but also lots to offer. Any advice? It's a really good question. I think really quickly, I got to pull Alysha back on stage because like she's the person to answer this question. Alysha, I can see you in the background. Is that cool if I pull you up here to help answer this one? All right, cool. So let's bring Alysha. As a reminder, she's lived this, so it's not me who's answering.
You know what's so funny is I tried to come back just to watch the rest of your session and somehow ended up backstage and just thought, I'll just stay here. So great. As soon as you read this question too, I was like, oh, I want to comment something so bad. I think we have all started to see it, and I said this in a video that might come out soon for Motion too. But it's kind of interesting. When I became a creative strategist, I feel like most people that I meet who are creative strategists came from a media buying background, and that was common. And I felt really like different for coming from a creative background, and actually a little bit insecure because I didn't have like the expertise that most other creative strategists had. But I actually think you are at a huge advantage right now, especially the way that the meta algorithm is going. Creative is everything. And if you don't understand creative, you're at a huge disadvantage. So yeah, I would just say like, position yourself as someone who knows creative deeply inside and out. And I would also say, for what it's worth, some of the best ads that I think any creative strategist has made, I would be curious if anybody else would disagree, but some of my best ads were the ones that I made because I was a creator. I was the person behind the camera. And there's something about being like so in it that you can make the ad yourself that actually just puts you at a huge advantage. And I'm seeing so many people who are UGC creators, designers, social media managers who just know creative so deeply that are really killing it in creative strategy. And I think like now is our time for sure. Yeah.
Now is our time. Alysha and I talk about this because it's like, what background makes the most sense for creative strategists? I don't think there's a right and a wrong. Like, don't want to say that. But being able to say like, okay, I want to make sure my thumb stop rate is strong and I can actually go do it is powerful. And like if you're
Mm-hmm.
just the data brain and can't connect it to the creative, it gets a little bit harder. So hearing Alysha's story is one of like I think of inspiration. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, thanks
Feel
for
free.
popping up. I appreciate you.
I'll leave. See you.
uh yo, you all are blowing up the questions. I love this. I love this. So Jill, back at it again with the white vans. Haha. Oh, hold on. Damn, I forgot to do this. Tell me you all can hear this. Ready? Back at it again with the white vans. Oh man. Okay. So Jill, any plans on adding a scheduler slash planning feature for organic social? Yeah, the organic social one's interesting. We're hearing it a ton. We haven't necessarily taken it like all that seriously, but we need to process it. I know Reza, who's our CEO, you would have heard him speak in the first session. Like he's thinking about it too. And if Reza's thinking about it, things happen. So there's a lot that we know we need to figure out here, but not quite yet is the short answer. Okay, Joe? Awesome. Let me do another one. Okay. Okay. Rashmi, does motion work for freelancers with multiple clients? Hell yeah. Of course, of course. Or we can partner up. Like we're all good on both fronts. Hit us up. We got your back, okay? Abby. Oh, this is letting us know about the nonprofit. Shout out Abby. Shout out Abby. Also got here. Frida's back. Shout out Frida. One of the speakers mentioned hiring in-house creators for our teams. Where do businesses find candidates? Now, this is some of the sauce, honestly. Like, if you all were here for the Savannah Sanchez conversation, Savannah's actually done an incredible job of like hiring creators, and then she's been able to then say like, okay, I want to train them to be creative strategists. But her process was primarily like scrolling like nuts, like a mad person, through the different feeds to find people with potential, and then literally DMing them. I know Dara. I don't think Dara's in the chat anymore, but Dara's here earlier. I know Dara was talking a ton just about like in one of her roles, going on organic social and find people who just like know what it means to go viral and understand culture. So it's like a lot of your own, like you got to scroll. I don't have a short answer for you, unfortunately. Okay, we got Beth. Beth, I feel like this is a new voice. Awesome. What is your favorite question you've been asked at one of these events? It's a good question, Beth. I'm the one usually asking questions. As you can tell, I don't answer a ton unless it's this way. I have a lot of opinions. I don't get to share them very often because I'm the one asking the question. So, what's my favorite questions that I have been asked? I don't know. Mm, mm, I'm gonna cop out and say anything motion related. So it's like hit that book a call button and you'll learn more. And I can tell you my favorite question. We still got a plug, man. We still got a plug. We still got a plug. Art, any favorite marketing books or books on creative strategy? Oh man, you got to tap in with Sarah Levinger. Her list of different books is next level and it's all about creative strategy. So literally go tap in with her. And honestly, what I want to see in the chat is what the community has to say about this. So it's like anything that's going on, because Art, transparently, I don't do a lot of reading about creative strategy. My stuff is more like you can see here. I try to get away from it, so I'm like reading basketball books or like biographies. In all honesty, most of the creative strategy knowledge comes from the podcast, and that's where you want to check out the marketing operators. It's a lot of the content and conversations I have on live stream, so a lot of that way. But if you want books, I know like people on our team are reading a ton of the ones that Sarah had recommended. All right, and Ablo, yeah. Shout out Virgil. Oh man, everybody. Yeah, the brand gap. See, I'm just gonna like sit back and read the chat, like sit back and read the chat. This is so awesome. Like when I talk about community, there's no better feeling than this. Like when we talk about like what information should we share with each other, and then I scroll through the chat and it's like so many different books. What? Like, come on, what is this? You gotta be kidding me. Oh man. Okay, I'm scrolling through the chat a little bit more, but if you have any final questions, let me know. If there's anything else you want to know too, let me know. There's I think there's like 550 of you still here. I can play more sounds. Um this one. I'm just messing around. Michael, Sarah's name, Sarah Levenger. Sarah Levenger. Liz, you got to bounce. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate the eyes and ears. You know, like again, this community is so awesome. What else I got for you guys? I got you know that one. And then you got this one. Any wrestling fans out there? No, offbeat. Still offbeat. Oh, they're so quiet. Damn it. It's not loud enough. How about this one? This is like the motivational speech one. You all are the best. Remember that about yourselves. You took your time to be able to say, I want to come to these sessions. I want to be able to crush it. I want to be able to do my. Okay. It's not working anymore, unfortunately, but I tried my best. I tried my best. Ariane asks, or Ari asks, what microphone are you using? It's a good question. It's a very good question. The main reason I pause is because this microphone right here, the Blue Yeti, isn't working. So like when we say you hear it very quiet, that's why, because it's literally not working. So I got some issues. Clearly my tech isn't working right. So I wouldn't take my recommendations. All right. Melissa, people call you Mel. Yeah, it's so interesting. Melissa, because I have a cousin, we call her something else, but yeah. What about creatives tapping more into the media buying side of things? I feel like resources go from beginner to advanced. Yeah, it's a really good point. The thing about like the media buying side is like Meta has so many resources. So they have like a blueprint course that's been around forever. I literally jump into Meta so you can go ahead and like go through the different steps there. Because like the media buying side, if you want to become a media buyer, nothing beats running an account. Like that's the starting place. And like if you're looking for an initial job, like agency is a great way to start. But if you're just looking to learn like what do media buyers care about and the numbers they look at, I think like we have a lot of content related to that. It's like what are the numbers as a creative strategist that you should care about as it relates to the media buying side of things. Cool. Okay, what else we got? What events can we catch you at in person? In my house, in my home, at home. I'm not really outside like that. In all honesty, I'm not really outside like that. Next event we're going to is James and I. So James, our head of content, we're going to be in Portland next week at the Foxwell Founders Group. But we're not doing a ton. We're not doing a ton of in-person stuff. In all honesty, let me know though. Let me know if anyone wants to do in-person stuff. Like always open to the conversation. But yeah, not too much. Okay, okay, hold on. Everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat. Please get my back here. Please get my back. No love? Come on. I've been up here. Melissa, don't play with him. Jesus. Oh my gosh. I know. So the recordings will be made available. Yeah, I promise. I promise. Check out the YouTube channel. That's we're gonna have a lot. I saw a comment come through a little bit earlier, and I just want to shout out our community again. So Lindsay said, "This was one of the best virtual conferences I've attended in a while. Thank you, and thank you, and all the speakers and the folks behind the scenes. Have a great night or day, wherever you are." Shout out to Lindsay. She knows we're a global community. She knows the work. That's how it goes. All right, and then the question I see in here. Shout out to Chris. You need a sure mic, broski. Trust me. I don't think it's a mic issue. I think what I have is the problem is I I use this thing called loopback. So it's like a system to be able to stream properly, right? And like it's broken a bit basically. So it's just like I need to be able to fix my tech, and it's not in a spot where I can fix it essentially. So I don't even think it's a mic issue. I think I got a like loopback tech mic thing. I don't know if that made any sense if I'm real with you guys. Awesome, y'all. Do we have any fun facts to share with each other? Fun fact, I was one of the first commercial hires at Motion, so helping to build out what we know as events, sales, customer success, all this stuff. So it's like everything about Motion I genuinely care about. So like wanting to see you all use this thing so we can accompany that next 100x growth that we're going to see. I want to be part of that selfishly. Like I want to see you all win. So it's like being here so early and see this grow from nothing. So much fun. So much fun. Another fun fact, I've had this I made myself like a little snack of literally just like bread with peanut butter. I freaking I didn't eat it. So when I said I had a headache earlier, I think that's why. I'm hungry. Another fun fact, I think I'm getting tired. Wondering if anyone else has any other questions. I drank it. I drank all my water, my electrolytes. It's all gone. I know. Jeez. Okay. Griff, Evan, next time you're in Atlanta, come stop by Marketing Week and tell your story. What's Market Week? I never heard about that. And I've never been to Atlanta. So I don't know. I want sweet tea though. Like I'm a big sweet tea fan. So I need sweet tea. Now we're sharing fun facts. All right, y'all. What a day. What a day. What a day. This stuff is so much fun. I hope you all oh, okay, sweet. You got sweet tea. Perfect. Uh, this is an amazing day, right? So like I'm so excited to connect after this. Like if we haven't connected on LinkedIn yet, hit me up. Okay. I'll throw my information in the chat, but it's just like Evan Lee Motion. And if you haven't connected with me on Twitter yet, hit me up on there too. I'm doing a bunch and posting a bunch there. Those are the two primary places that I'm active. I would love to stay in contact. Like these types of events are so much fun. And like if you're posting about the event after or any learnings, I want to be part of that, you know? So much about it. Chris says, my GF, your girl told you about the event by pure coincidence. I realized it was today. Yeah, that's awesome. Honestly, it's like the world works in funny ways, right? The world works in funny ways. And I think like, I don't know, one of the really cool things about this too is like you've heard Sarah and everyone else talk about their stories. Like all of them have such good input and they've always input insights, but they're all wired a little bit differently, right? Like to get purpose and hear Sarah say like you make a difference, like that's powerful, right? Like the economy matters, like supporting this is important. So it's like her driver seeing there, whereas like other people might be more spiritual, other people are more like I think Morella calls it woohoo. So wherever it might fall, it gets quite interesting that way. All right, I'm looking at my team in the back. Do I still do this, or what do you think? Are there any questions we want to ask the people for market research? Okay, I'm gonna ask some market research questions. You all saw what we have going on in motion, right? Like we talked through tags, talked through these chats, all this kind of stuff. My question is what is the number one pain point that you're experiencing right now as it relates to your workflow? Like, what would you say? What would you say? And while I wait for your answers in the chat, I'm going to keep talking, but I'm going to get water. Like, I think you all support me enough to know that I need water. Number one problem, y'all. Number one problem. Please let me know, okay? And the number one problem can't be you don't have enough time in the day, because that is a real one that I don't have the solution for, unfortunately. All right. No one got any problems. No one got any problems. Okay. We got a couple, actually. We got a couple. Giovanna, I've been learning and applying stuff I learned from motion summits and webinars for years now and consistently growing. Very grateful for these sessions always. Real MVP. Real MVP behavior right there. Griff, the gap between creative and paid. Griff, I got you. Griff, I got you. Griff, I got you. Griff, I got you. You know that book of demo button? I got you. Don't worry. We're gonna solve that for you. All right? Good. We're good. Wait, what was your question, Evan? I said, what is the number one pain point you have in your workflow that we can potentially help out with, essentially? My problem is I missed the question. So you all are just hanging out and have me in the background, huh? That's what's going on. Kim. So Kim says, I can't report out the performance of creative to my creative team. My agency just keeps telling me the remarketing campaign is performing the best. This is a DPA, not a creative. I need motion. Yeah, for real. You need the insights that seem to be kept by your agency. That's tough. That's super tough. Kim, is your role creative strategist? Are you a creative team member? Like, what do you do? Because there might be something in there. I had to call you out one time. I had to call you out one time. I'm taking notes. I love that. Notes on what? My star sign that people are asking for? Jeez, I don't know what's going on. Camille, Cam, shout out to Cam. Being overwhelmed, trying to keep up with social media algorithms. For real, it's tough. It's tough. I think like there are a lot of foundations that remain true, and I you're gonna hear me sound like a broken record here, but really nailing your persona and who you're going after gives you a lot of certainty of like you that won't change. How you might target and how you might position and how you might make creative might change, but that person won't change. They might evolve if you add more SKUs, but that's something. But I feel you. I feel you. That's a tough one to solve. I don't think I have it. Frida, I deep cleaned my bathroom during this. Not gonna lie. What in the hell? What do I do with that information? You just want me talking in the background? Kimberly, Director of Performance Marketing. Oh, that's tough then. Like, do you own your ad account? Because I really think that you should be able to like get that information. It seems essential to make good decisions. So it's like if you have motion, you're able to see it and then pass it to the different members you need. So there's something in there. I got your question. Since I'm just focusing on organic, I've been able to use motion slowly. It's all good. One day we'll link. Yeah, you need a head of marketing hat for the next time. I don't know if I do. I think like Reza nailed it in the first session. Like when he was talking to Ridge's CMO Connor McDonald, Jones Road Beauty CEO Cody Plockfer, and then the head of growth at HexClad Connor Rolane. They're creative strategists. So it's like kind of an honor as I see it. Like you want to wear that with a badge and be like, yep, I can get in the weeds. Don't worry about it. I got this. There's something that comes with that I think is so empowering. And now I don't even think of it as like head of marketing. It's just like, no, you want to wear that badge of honor of creative strategist because you carry so much of the potential of hitting your revenue targets. So there's a lot that goes on in there. Man, awesome, y'all. Okay, well, I think we've officially reached the end of the road. This has been the AP, right? So after party, exclusive stuff. You heard exclusive updates. You've seen everything else that's going on. I said it once, I will say it again. I sincerely appreciate your eyes and ears. Damn, I just talked right over someone who sent a big message. Oh my God, I feel terrible. I feel terrible. But yes, I acknowledge you. I hear you. I see you. So it's a problem. But this has been a blast, everybody. Like, thanks a ton. Like, this has been so much fun. Keep an eye out. We're going to be sending these recordings. Like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a lot. We're going to send out information after this so you have it in your inbox so you can see recordings, so you can see additional information. But we're going to have so much cooking as the year continues and entering 2026. So I want you all to stay tapped in, okay? This is the stuff that I don't want to miss out on, this community. So everybody, you're the best. Thank you so much for the time. I'm going to talk to y'all real soon, okay? All right. Peace.